Good morning and hello my fiery friends. Welcome to another awesome and fiery fun stream. I'm your host the Infernoman here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. So, we're getting close to the holiday season, but we still want to do a handful more Avatar themed decks throughout this holiday season. So, which character are we going to be doing today? Well, I'm glad you asked. So without further ado, let's just jump into it right now and show you exactly what we're going to be playing. Alright, so we did a little while ago, of course, a handful of the other well-known characters and popular ones from Avatar: The Last Airbender, but this time around, we're going to do one around Azula herself. Of course, Azula is absolutely kooky, and seriously, actually her card itself is also really good. But originally we were going to try to design her as a commander deck, but I thought, yeah, why do that? We've done quite a few commander decks already, and I figured maybe we should try to do something a little bit more spicier, a little bit more crazier. I guess it kind of fits her, if you will. So this Azula combo is absolutely crazy with what we're going to try to do here. I don't even know if it's even going to work, but we're going to try to see if we can make it work. So without further ado, join me today in the Pioneer format, because Azula is going to be insane if we can get this combo to go off. So, in order for this to go off of, however, we do want to talk about briefly how this is all works. So for those of you who are just joining us right now this morning, we're going to break it down this way. We're going to go over the stats of the deck first off. We'll go over every single card in the main deck. We'll go over the sideboard, of course, and we'll play as many matches in best of one. And when we can, we'll then upgrade the deck halfway through the stream to show you how much you can really go all out if you actually really want to invest in this deck. So, to begin, let's go over the stats of the deck. Long-time viewers of the channel know how to do it. We got to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. So our Azula crazy combo deck is going to be Grixis colors of blue, black, and red. Average mana curve is going to be 2.0, and we'll be rocking a total of 16 creatures in the deck, 16 instants, 2 sorceries, 4 enchantments, and 22 lands. Hello, good morning there. Okay, we got some more people trying to join the chat right now. Katrina, hi, good morning. How are you doing today? Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. And I see Matthew there. Erm? I don't know what the stands for, but again, good morning, just the same. How are you doing today? Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. All right, and then let's see, where are we at here? Oh yeah, that's right, so we're going to cover that. So the way this is going to work is we're kind of doing something that I usually am not big on combo decks, but I am a fond of one style of combo decks, which is usually the one big swing to get to your victory. We've done this several times already. We did this with Final Fantasy with Tifa, where we try to, do land-based stuff, and then we pump her up and then do a big swing. Oh, Max on VR, hi, hello, good morning, my fire friend, how you doing today? Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. And then what is it? One of my favorite decks from last year was, of course, our Electrostatic Pummeler deck in Timeless, where we pumped up an Electrostatic Pummeler, get it super big, and swing. So I guess it's kind of like on par for me. So the way this is going to work is Fire Lord Azula. Her ability here, she's a Grixis 4/4 legendary creature, human noble, with Firebending 2, which means that anytime this creature attacks, you get to add 2 red mana. However, it only lasts until the end of combat. Whenever you cast a spell while Fire Lord Azula is attacking, you get to copy that spell, and you may choose new targets for the copy. So you're going to get 2 for the price of 1 for her. However, just as unstable as she may be right here, we're still going to try to see if we can make a very spicy combo work. So the way this is going to work is we want Fire Lord Azula to get pumped up, utilizing her small firebending ability of 2 to then make her huge and smash her way to victory. Max on VR. What's the name of the game? Oh, this is Magic the Gathering Arena. So it's a digital version of the trading card game that you see some people pay and play in person. So it's kind of like tabletop, but in digital form. Good question though. So Fire Lord Azula here, with her ability, what we're going to try to do is we want to try to pump her up with some of our spells here. We can copy those spells as long as she's still attacking. You can take advantage of the extra mana she will make with a Firebending 2, and then we'll hopefully make her super big, and hopefully we can get a one-shot kill with her. So that is the whole game plan. In order to make this work, however, let's kind of cover again how we're going to try to support this plan. It's literally all in on her, but we still want to make sure we can still kind of fill out the rest of our game plan. So in the 1-drop slot, we have a little bit of support with creatures like this is a greedy freeboater. When the creature dies, you scry 1 and make a treasure token. So this helps us with small bit of ramp, and the scrying ability allows us to kind of filter our next draw just to make sure we can get exactly the combo piece we're going to need. We're also going to use Vol'jin Epicure here. Again, this does seem a little awkward, but again, these are not going to be true filler, but they do help us out with our game plan. So Vol'jin Epicure here. Gallic Sheepy, good morning. Hello, good morning. How are you doing today? Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Also asking what game is this? This is Magic the Gathering Arena. So again, for those of you that are coming in and maybe are a little curious, this game is again based upon the trading card game that you could play in paper. But however, we're going to be utilizing some cards that highlight from Avatar: Last Airbender that was added as a collab from the actual set. Good morning, Densplanet. You're back. Hello. How are you doing today, my fire friend? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. So then, where was I at here? Oh yes, that's right. So with the other support creature we're going to utilize Voltron Epic here. When it enters, you ping your opponent for 1 point of damage, and you create a blood token. So this helps us again kind of soften up our opponent for 1 point. It can provide for us a cheap little blocker until we get our game plan going, and the blood token also can help us filter our next draw by discarding a card and drawing a card. For these 2-drop slot, we will have another creature here that helps us out here, Flood Pit's Drowner. So this is a merfolk with Flash and Vigilance. When a creature enters, this creature will then tap down another creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it, and then you can use its ability to then bring out the creature with the stun counter and the Flood Pit's Drowner and reshuffle it back into your library. So this is going to be a way that if, say, like Azula's swinging, or if we need to at the end step of our opponent's phase, we can tap down their creature, then we can get that out of the way. Alex Sheepy, subscribe. Thank you again for that. Appreciate that. Hopefully, again, you'll get to enjoy the rest of the game in just a minute. Don't worry. We'll be playing in just a moment here. But thank you again. Appreciate that. So Flood Pit's Drowner right here. So the way you want to use this is as you swing with Azula, even if she only makes red mana, as long as we can get at least 1 blue source out, we can then hopefully bring in, as she's attacking, Flood Pit's Drowner. She can then be, the copy then goes out, and then we could technically move 2 blockers out of the way by stunning him and tapping him down, which means Azula should have nothing in her way to strike down our opponent. So that's kind of the game plan here. We'll use some of our creatures to kind of just slowly just build up our resources. We'll have another one for combat purposes, or we can use it as a tempo play just to keep things out of the way, and hopefully we can get big with her. Now, in order to do this, however, we do have some extra spells we definitely want to then copy with Azula here. So, Burst Lightning here is going to be one of our options here, so only a single copy, because realistically we're not going to try to burn our opponent, but we do want to at least have maybe a little bit of an extra version just to provide us a little bit of burn abilities here. Oh, you're up to 700 subs now, Dan Splendid. That's amazing, my fire friend. You're doing great. Keep it going, my man. I'm happy to hear that you are continually growing too. That's awesome. Let's see. Okay. And then as far as the way we're going to try to pump up Azula here, so we also have spells like Monstrous Rage. So this is also the reason why we wanted to do this in Pioneer. Granted, yes, you probably could do this whole combo in the standard format, but what fun would that be? We actually wanted to have a little bit more options with our pump spells. So Monstrous Rage technically is banned in standard, but it is available for us here in Pioneer. We're also going to utilize a 2 copies actually of Wild Ride. So this gives a creature a +3/+0 pump and haste until end of turn. Granted, it's only sorcery, so that's why we're only going to use 2 copies here. But you can also harmonize for 5 mana by bringing it back from the graveyard. As far as other ways we can support our game plan here, the main card we want, of course, at the start of the show is going to be Bulk Up. So Bulk Up here at instant speed for 2 mana. Double a creature's power until end of turn, and you can flash it back for 6 mana. The 6 mana may seem a little expensive, but it can be done with our game plan here. So at the very minimum, Fire Lord Azula, at least when she's attacking, she will make another copy which goes on the stack. So bulking up with her, in theory, makes her an 8/4, and then the copy will then pump her to a 16/4. But that's technically not enough for lethal. So how we're going to get to lethal is going to be our final support piece here, Frostcliff Siege. So enchantment here that when it enters, choose Jeskai or Teamer. If you choose the Jeskai side, we can then, of course, draw cards every time we deal combat damage to a player. But the Teamer side is ideally what we want to name. Creatures you control will get an extra +1/+0 pump with Trample and Haste. So this is the final perfect piece to get our game plan going. We need 3 pieces to get to our victory in one go. Fire Lord Azula attacks with a Frostcliff Siege out, so that means she's a 5/4. Bulk Up will then double her to a 10/4. And then finally, this extra copy makes her a 24. So that is perfectly exactsies what we need to get to our victory. We do have a little bit of extra support finally in 2 other pieces here. We're going to throw in Maestro's Charm. So this is a Grixis instant that allows us to pick 1. You can either dig 5 cards deep, pull out a card from our hand and put the rest into your graveyard, or you can then life gain and train your opponent for 3 and gain 3 life, or Maestro's Charm will deal 5 damage to a creature or a planeswalker. You actually could use this also to make sure we can stabilize with Fire Lord Azula here, so the extra copies can technically give you as much as, wow, that's actually pretty cool. You can actually drain for 6 and gain 6 for 3. That's actually a really good rate, or maybe you can get 2 big creatures so you don't want to deal with out of the way. Or again, just dig for your other pieces you're going to need in order to make sure Azula goes off. So either way, it goes great for us. And the final piece, again, may look a little out of place here, but we're going to take advantage of our sack fodder. So Deadly Dispute here can then sacrifice an artifact or creature, draw 2 cards, make a treasure token. So this is our card draw for us. We can sacrifice the Voltron Epic here, the Blood token, the Greedy Freeboater for making treasures, or even a Flood Pit's Drowner. Maybe we don't need those anymore. We can also utilize those as well just to get some more value out of the deck. Dan Splendid, I have finally decided to change my profile and channel picture. What do you think? It actually looks great, by the way. I did take the time to look at it a little bit more, but I do like what you're doing there. So it seems like you're now kind of shaping now your identity a little bit more as you're building up your content there, Dan Splendid. That's actually really cool. But again, don't be afraid again to keep, reinventing yourself and keep improving as you go along. You're actually doing really good. So I'm actually really impressed with your growth. I'm happy for you. Let's see, where was I at? Oh, yes. So, as far as our mana base, so thankfully our main deck is actually pretty cheap. We're only using 8 raiders in the main deck. So you actually can make this a very, very budget-friendly deck. But again, we realize we actually do have a little bit of extra wiggle room in the budget. So in order to take advantage of that, we'll throw in some Fable Passage here. So that's going to be our other rare. So this will help us again sacrifice to then dig out some more basics. We have 4 islands, 4 swamps, 6 mountains, and also some Maestro Theater. So everything we can do is just to help filter our deck and thin it out just to make sure we can draw into the action we're going to need. Now, if you do want to play this in best of 3, technically the combo works, I argue, better in best of 1. Maybe not best of 3, but if you still want to see if you can try to make the combo mix up your opponent here, this is what I would recommend. We're going to utilize here Duresses here, so that can, again, just strip away cards that are going to mess up our combo. We can get those out of the way. If we have cards or creatures we'd also have a hard time dealing with, whether it's we can't tap them down or whatever, we can bring in Nowhere to Run. This makes a creature -3/-3 until end of turn. It has flash, but also this also will turn off Ward. This turns off Hexproof, so we can make sure that we can move stuff out of the way that we also don't want to deal with. For some spot removal, also we'll have Withering Torment here, destroying a creature or an enchantment, and we'll also utilize here an Abrade, which can do 3 damage to a creature, or again, it's an Artifact Hate. We'll throw in an extra copy of Burst Lightning if you actually want to do some more burn damage. And for maybe some instances where you also kind of have a hard time with certain law and land permanents, we can throw in instead You Come to a River, which can make either one of our creatures unblockable with a +1/+0 pump, or just bounce back a non-land permanent to an owner's hand. And then finally, if we want to mix up our game plan just a little bit more, we can also utilize here Third Path Iconoclast. Whenever we cast a non-creature spell, we create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token. Now, technically, our deck is mostly just a combo deck, but we also can then bring in these cards to then help us give us a go-wide strategy as a backup plan. And also, these go pretty well with Frostcliff Siege because that means all of our soldiers here, they'll actually become 2/1s with Trample and Haste. That actually can help us out, kind of close out the game if we also end up having a gummed up board. But it works really, really well. So that is the whole game plan for you. Is this combo crazy? Is Azula crazy? Well, obviously she is, but let's see if her combo can actually go off today in the Pioneer format. So let's take this now, and let's see how well our deck can do. So we'll, of course, go into ranked here, and let's get this going. All right, feeling good about this. Let's see if at least we can get this combo to go off at least a couple times. I don't expect it to go off every single time, but we should have enough to hopefully get this going. All right. All right, let's do this. All right, locking in for the first game here. Yeah!
It's time to do.
All right, let's do this. All right, so... Okay, so we got the Flood Pit Drowner, we got the Frostcliff Siege, Monstrous Rage here for a little bit of extra pump. We have Fatal Passage, Maestro Theater. Okay, so it's going to be a bit of a slow hand, but we should be able to get our combo pieces set up and good to go. Alright, so the first thing we'll do is we'll get that Maestro's Theater so we can get our Soul Scar Mage, alright. Okay, kind of looks like they're going to be mono red aggro. Okay, great, we got the bulk up, so now we just realistically need Azula, and also we need to survive before mono red aggro gets to us. And we do have a Flood Pit Drowner, so we do have a tempo play if we need it. Okay, Monster's Rage. Okay, opponent's going straight out for the aggro plan here. They are not wasting any time. Okay, Shivan Reef. Down to 16. Okay, so we got the Voldrin Epic here, but we also do not have the right mana for this. So, alright, so in that case then, I guess we'll play the Fable Passage now. You already got 2 decks that are work properly there. Gates and Orzhov Token Hybrid. Nice! Okay. Well, still swinging, but they don't have any more pumps, so maybe they're holding off on us for a bit. Okay, Soul Scar Mage coming in. That's fine. Sacrifice the Fatal Passage. So for this, we will get out now our mountain. Okay, got another bulk up. Play the swamp. So here's how we do this. We will play first off our Voldrin Epic here. Gotta soften up our opponent just a little bit more. Okay, ping him for 1. Take the blood token. I'll pass here. So the only hard part now is just making sure we can tap down the right creature. Flood Pit's Drowner will at least get one swinger out of the way and hopefully fizzle out a pump spell. Okay, Reckless Rage. Okay, so with that. So for that, Flood Pit's Drowner will now tap down Soul Scar Mage here. Okay. We'll lose our Volder and Epicure, but that's fine. They only have 1 mana open. They swing. Okay, that's fine as well. We'll wait it out. Down to 12. Okay, so we managed to slow them down a little bit here, so that is good. Fatal Passage. Alright, and with that, we will get out... What do we get out here? I think we'll probably get another mountain. Okay, Frostcliff Siege. So for this one, we'll do it on combat damage. We'll swing. If our opponent lets us. Or not. Opponents. Okay, they do have another Reckless Rage. Joy. Okay, so in that case then, we take the 4. Okay. Soulscar Mage Seer is still tapped down. So we still have a little bit of time, but we are also running out of time. So I think... Okay. Alright, come on, deck. We need a big hit here coming up. So I think for this... Blood Token. Throw away a Bulk Up. Draw a card. Come on, give me something. Okay, Maestro Sealer's not... Oh, we did not draw into our combo pieces there. Alright, so... This might be a loss here. We're down to 7. We'll get out... we'll get out a Swamp. And we can't do anything. So this is where the weakness of the deck comes into play. If we can't get our combo pieces out, we end up just doing nothing. So it really is an all or nothing on Azula to try to get us the win here. Okay, opponent. Do you have a way to finish this off? Okay, Monster's Rage, and that pretty much seals it. Alright. Well, that's game, everybody. Well, we didn't get the victory there on the first game. That's okay. Not a big deal. Alright. Dang. So we'll lose rank again. Wow, we have actually had a really hard time this season trying to get out of Platinum. Like, we have not had any luck. But that's okay. Not a big deal. I already got 2 decks that were proper. Okay. Oh, is there some time left for maybe a single one-on-one? If we can. No promises, but we'll try. I'm him programmer. Yo, good morning, my fire friend. How you doing today? Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. And have you considered putting stock up in this deck? That is true, though. I guess I could try stock up instead. Maybe that actually might be better than the Maestro's Charm. But I like the Maestro's Charm because it has flexibility to it. But we'll look at it. Okay. It's okay. Let's give this another shot here. So, Alright, so we have a Volder and Epicure here. We can't cast it, but it's okay. We'll try. So with that, we'll play the Fatal Passage and pass. Okay, opponent, tap land. And the Godless Shrine. He did not shock themselves, so they have nothing in him, at least for now. Mountain. Got the Bulk Up, so that's good. Play the Swamp. Volder and Epicure coming in. Ping our opponents. Make a Blood Token, and pass. Okay, so... Great Arashan City. So I guess for now we're on the let's ping our opponent and just do some damage while we can. Flexibility is pointless if there's no consistency. Alright, you're calling me out on that. I mean, I suppose that's... You're not wrong on that. If we end up getting to a point where we're not doing anything, then we'll look at a way to possibly integrate that. Okay, draw 2. Okay, we got the Maestro's Charm. That's cool. We got another Frostcliff Siege we can't really do too much with, but let's see. Alright, so here's how we do this. Mountain. So we have all the Frostcliff Sieges in the world. I guess we'll use this now to just draw some cards. So we'll wait. Okay, ping. Draw a card. Okay, got another Charm. Volder and Epicure. Okay, down to 16. Okay, but yeah. In all seriousness, though, Den Splendid, if it is coming to a point where we can't really do anything with the charms, maybe we'll probably swap them out for instead for stock ups. Not gonna lie, though, I kind of picked these because I kind of have a little bit of a penchant for the charm. Okay, opponents. But again, my method to my madness was, again, trying to utilize Deadly Disputes as our card draw pieces. But I get what you're trying to say here. Maybe we should stick it to a more aggressive card draw for the deck. Meanwhile, opponents, still going to be a while before they get Ketramos online. We're going to start exiling our stuff, but we'll see. See what our opponents are. Unidentified hover ship. All right. Okay, so they will exile one of our things. They draw a card, but they will lose life. Okay. Okay, anything else, opponents? Okay, so for now, we'll throw away one of our Frostcliff Sieges. We don't need a bunch. Okay. Right, the card there. Maestro's Theater. And another mountain. Alright, so Maestro's Theater, because that's what we're going to need. So we can't attack for now, at least not until we get that blue source out. We're a little bit slow for that. Because they can still tap it and then turn on the hover ship. So we're going to have to wait a turn. But hopefully this should work out here on the next turn or so. Go for a flash package instead? I mean, I guess that's true too. But it's kind of hard because I'm not sure. I'd have to think again like what we want. All Fate Stalker. But again, let's do it this way. If it's not working out quite well, then I suppose we can also look at other options to kind of rebuild the deck a little bit. Okay. Opponent's still just trying to exile our stuff to get out of the way, but they can't swing on Ketramosis yet. The hover ship can technically do damage. Okay, they're crewing for one. They swing. Rep 19. Okay. Greedy Freeboater. Alright. Okay. Okay, the mountain. Maestro's Theater, so we will deal with All Fate Stalker. Okay, so that brings us back to our Volder and Epicure. They are running for one there. And pass. Okay. Opponents, what have you got? Desmond Grixis Tempo like Dimir Flash, but we also added red for Azula and Burn. Okay. We'll give it maybe like another match or so, and then I guess we can kind of look at ways we can kind of shape it a little better. I mean, again, in theory, it works. Sort of. Okay, opponent here. Swinging with the hover ship again. Down to 17. Alright. They can use the Greater Roshan City. Do they do it? Do they make... Alright, so they do exile. So Ketramos doing Ketramos things. Draw a card. They go down to 12. Anything else, opponent? Alright, Portable Hole. Joy. So they get rid of Greedy Freeboater. Okay. No way to sack it, so here's what it is. Draw the card down to 11. Okay. Blood Pit Surrounder. Okay, so that is nice. So with that... Okay. I'm a little... What do we do here? The Frostcliff Siege would then ensure that we can keep pushing out damage. Can't do anything else. But if I can't... But then I don't have the mana for the Flood Pit Surrounder. Okay. Okay. Let's try to see here. Well, Frostcliff Siege. Maybe we can draw into it. At least I hope we can. So we can push through the damage now. Okay. Opponents. Now they have Banishing first. Alright. Fine, opponents. Okay, so we're running out of options here, but the Flood Pit Surrounder can still tap down Ketramos, and we can bounce that away, so our opponent won't have that. Oh, they have Ugin. Okay. Dang. Alright, well, that kind of seals it up for us.
One step in the strategy.
Okay. Opponents. Drawing all the cards now. They can now exile our stuff without much in their way.
Fools have sowed discord.
Okay. Iron Crag.
Energy.
And, okay. They exile our whole game. We can't do it now. Dang. Sadness there. Alright. And we're now back to the bottom of Platinum 4. Okay. Alright. Well, maybe you have a point there, Denslinnet, on maybe better options there. Okay. So, before I continue, and I usually don't do this, but maybe our viewer has a point here. I mean, I like what the deck is wanting to do, but maybe we're not having the right setup here. So, we're going to have to do some midstream tweaks. It's not quite working how I wanted. So, I'm probably going to swap this out just a little bit here. All right, so in that case then. All right. So, do it this way. So, Maestro's Charm is going to go bye-bye. Okay, we'll put in 4 for now, and then we'll start sculpting it in a smidge here. So, but what do we want instead? As much as I enjoy all the pump, it seems like all the pump isn't going to do much of anything if we cannot get stuff out. So, instead, maybe cut the Wild Ride. And then, let's see. I mean, I kind of like the idea of the auras. So let's see. Hold on. Let's type in Flash. Let's see. So let's see what we're working with here that can help us out a little bit more. Let's see. Stock up, bulk up. So this can help us, of course, with our game plan here. Maybe we cut the Deadly Dispute and put in more protection? I'm not sure. Okay, sorry. Still mumbling here because I'm trying to figure out, like, what is our best options here for doing things here. Okay, so I guess then... Should we cut the Monster's Rage? Because the bulk up, of course, the whole point is to get Azula to then smash in with bulk up. So maybe the Monster's Rage gets cut? And then what do you think about the Deadly Dispute? And also, everybody out there that's watching, feel free to chime in if you'd like to. Maybe we can all work on this together. Okay, I see what you're trying to do there. Okay, so... And then what do you think about our cheap creatures here? Do we keep these for fodder so we could use with Deadly Dispute, or should we just cut those entirely? Okay, Deathblend making some good points here. So we got maybe a little bit too much pump. So with that, maybe the Monster's Rage goes bye-bye. And instead maybe bring in Burst Lightnings. And yeah, if anybody out there also has ideas, don't be afraid to speak up. More than happy to hear from any of you guys. We want to try to see if we can make this work. So maybe cut the Burst Lightning there. So maybe more like that. Or we can use the Burst Lightnings. And also that kind of goes with Fire Lord Azula's ability. So that actually might help us out a little bit more. Or do instead we focus on a much more... Do have a more cheaper game plan here. As far as flashing with stuff to protect and pump, I mean, we've got a lot of options here too. Faithlight? Maybe that might be helpful, because that also gives us pump, gives us flying, and also gives us hexproof as well. That actually might be an option too. So trying to think, is that Monster's Rage keep? Okay. Oh, I see what you're trying to say there. Okay, so I see. Okay. So wait, where are we at here? So keep the Monster's Rage. So are we thinking like this? So with the current setup we have right now, we have 3 freeboaters, Flood Pit Drowners, and our creatures that we can just bring in. Monster's Rage for pump. Now we have a full set of burst lightning, so we actually can use those while attacking. That dispute, as you mentioned, kind of like for troll, and also we can use those to sack our creatures to draw more. Stock up now gives us more consistency with digging out 2 cards as we go 5 cards deep. Only 2 bulk ups because we want to just save those for Firelord Azula's ability there. So, do you think this looks better? And then again, like anybody else out there, even if you're watching on the replay, what do y'all think? Is this better? Is this what we want? Let's see. And then I suppose now that we have a little bit more consistency here, maybe instead of Fable Passage, I guess we could just invest instead like in a set of Shocklands. Maybe that actually might be better for us. I mean, we're still going to stay on a budget, but maybe we can kind of push the budget just a little bit more. So I would think like maybe we can push to like 14 rares. That's still budget, right? Am I wrong? And then let's see. From here, we still want to keep mostly. All right, so trim down here. Or do we want a set of Triumphs? Or are Triumphs too slow? Here, hold on one second. We'll put that in for now. Okay, according to Densplendid, Greedy Freeorder seems bad, and the Epicure seems kind of bad, not gonna lie. Okay. Alright, I mean, we can cut those. Again, I'm not married to anything here. The whole core of the deck, again, is we just want Firelord Azula to do one big swing, and that's all we're trying to go in on. So I know that basically means the deck is a flash. It's a glass cannon deck, but that is the whole point. Alright, so we can cut the freeboaters. We can cut the Epicures. Do we want to just go in all on spells and just make it like a control combo deck? Is that what we want instead? Does that sound better to everybody out there? Maybe that is better, actually. But then in that case, I think then, do we then want more removal? Just so we can just keep the board under control until we can get to Azula and the Siege? And do we want also protection for her until we actually can swing? Again, not against anything here. I'm totally open-minded to how we want to do this. And I think this means that, hold on, before I continue this on, we're going to save this for a moment here. So this definitely means that we're also going to have to cut the upgraded deck, because the upgraded deck technically just followed what we already did. So we're going to cut that, and then we can rebuild that one afterwards. So I think that actually might be a better idea. Okay, so yeah, go for tempo stuff. Okay. Do we want to actually... Okay, so I think the question is, do we want more spot removal or do we want counter spells? Or maybe we could do both. I guess maybe that might work instead. All right. So, with that, we have 8 slots technically open right now. So what do you recommend? And this, again, this goes for anybody out there. Do we want, like, I don't know, like... Do we want the usual stuff, like Fatal Pushes? Or maybe Fatal Pushes, I don't know, like Spell Pierce? Just stuff we can make sure that we can use to keep our opponent on their toes here. So, where is it at? Or do we want Cut Down? Cut Down also is pretty good overall. That's actually, like, pretty good, like, Fatal Push. Like that? And then, what is it? Like, I don't know. Do we want counters or protection? I guess that's also a question I should probably check into as well. So what do we want? And again, anybody that is watching, feel free to chime in. What do you think? The whole idea, again, is for those that are still trying to figure out what we're doing, the whole game plan is trying to get Firelord Azula to do a one-shot hit against our opponent here. We want to make sure we support her with the right pump spells. So Frostcliff Siege helps us out with Firelord Azula, giving her pump. Bulk Up here will double her up and then quadruple her up to get a win. We also will utilize Monstrous Rage to make sure she can also get another way to pump her up. We can utilize Burst Lightnings also for burn, but it's flexible enough to also be spot removal. We'll throw in, of course, we have Flood Pit Surrounder to also tempo stuff out of the way. But does this mean now we don't need Deadly Dispute? Because I realize now we don't have enough creatures to actually make Deadly Dispute viable. Ooh. Eloquentia? That actually is nice for flavor purposes. So that's so okay. So this also means that, hold on. I love the idea of Eloquentia here because this sounds hilarious. Yeah, Deadly Dispute does not do anything anymore. So with that, we can throw in Eloquentia. Actually, I realize now this is also going to be becoming more of a standard deck. But it still works. Okay. So we'll put it'll quench you now. Let's see. So yeah, Fatals for that. It'll quench you. Can also be doubled up also with Azula there. Even as long as we have at least one blue mana to work with. That actually can work. Let's see. Okay. So this is getting a little better now. Okay. And then, we technically have space for 4 more cards. Let's see. Hold on. I want to make sure also have... So we have 22 lands still. And we can also adjust land count just a little bit if we want to. Okay. I do like how this is now looking. So this looks a little bit better for us. So we'll give this a shot here. But again, the question also is, what else do we want? Maybe another cheap interaction? What else would we like? Aquarius form. Or do we want protection now for Firelord Azula? Like, what is it? Hexproof? So we were looking at hexproof stuff. So this is what we're looking with if we want something here. Okay. Flash? That's fair. That's cool. So, in terms of flash stuff, if we want auras, so Tiny softens up something completely, but it takes a little bit of time to get going. I don't think we're going to have more pump with like equipment, but those are options as well. Thieves Guild's Enforcer, if you want mill, but we're not really a mill deck per se. In terms of other things here, most of the other flash stuff will be just things that soften up our opponents, such as Cogworks, Brineborn. They all kind of do the same thing here, like Humbling Elder here. Let's see. Otherworldly Gaze. Spectral Sailor can help us draw cards if we want to. Let's see. And then also, let's see. Sea Legs. Well, we're not using Pirates, so that also doesn't help us out there. Let's see. What else? So this is all the flash stuff in the 1-drop. Unless you want to expand now to 2-drop. We can do that too. And then let's see. In the 2-drop slot, we have a lot more options, definitely. So we can completely turn off their abilities with cards like Mystic Subdual here. If we want... Merfolk Trickster technically works the same way as Fliphead's Drowner, but also the 2 blue mana is a bit... That's a bit of an asking point for us. Let's see, Fairy Mastermind, I suppose you could do that as well. If we do that, then we'll have to then go budget again on the mana base. Same with Malcolm here. Let's see, what else we got? We can also use cards like Elemental Adept here, which has Flash and Prowess. Fresh Start also can then soften up an opponent, make him lose all abilities. Plum Creed Escort here also gives us a creature, but also gives us Hexproof for a turn, so protection. If we want more protection auras, we also utilize here Starlight Mantle here, so things like that. What else we got here? I'm trying to think here. What else we got? Let's see, anything else here? Oh, we're not Spirits deck, so we don't need Rattle Chains. And let's see. Some more spot removal can be cards like Omen of the Forge. Wait, Omen of the Seas? Wait, where is that at? Oh, there we go. Okay. I mean, it's not bad. Draws a card and helps us scry to filter our deck. I mean, I guess we can give that a shot for now. You know what? Let's try it. You know what? I'm feeling... We're experimental right now. We're just trying out whatever we feel might help us out here. So, okay, that puts us 2.1 average mana curve here. So this means now we're more into blue. So we're going to have to readjust here. Okay, no big deal. Again, I appreciate still chiming in just the same. And again, don't feel like anybody else is watching. Don't feel like if you agree or disagree with my fire friend here, no big deal. You can always just chime in if you want to. The first couple matches with Azula here, it was a little rough, so I've realized this is one of the few times we're actually going to try to mix things up midway through the stream. This does mean, though, we will then rebuild completely for the upgraded one in a little bit. But let's give this a shot for now, and then we will kind of play around with it a bit more. So with this, all right, so Probably, what was it, 7 islands. I think 4 mountains, 3 swamps should be enough. The Maestro's Theater, the Xander's Lounge. Well, actually, we'll cut the Xander's Lounge because we want to make sure we have the right mana. And instead, we'll go with Shocklands. I think we'll do that instead. Let's see. So we want... Because if we can afford at least a little bit more, we can try to do that instead. So with that, 2 Watery Graves. Instead here, we could throw in 2 Steam Vents. So that's all our budget can take for now. We'll also make adjustments as we need to. So let's give this a shot for me. For now, let's give this a shot. There's still plenty of time we can keep filtering and working with it. So for now, let's give the version 1.5 of Azula here a shot here. All right. If we want to make more adjustments then Splendid, don't worry. I guess we can get a match or 2 in here and then kind of filter and tweak it a little bit more. But I know we definitely have an idea here for a good deck. It is in here. I know it can work. All right, so for now... Oh, okay. You think the siege is kind of pointless? Huh, okay. Well, I mean, the whole plan was to try to see if we can get a one-shot with her with it, but if it's not working, then, I mean, I suppose we could make an adjustment for that, too. Okay, Hinterland, Sanctifier. Burst Lightning. Take out that rabbit. The life gain also will hurt us a lot, so we're going to try to get around that. Alright, Dark Lix Shores. Okay, so opponent is Esper life gain? Oh, hold on. It'll quench it. Okay, so at least in this instance, at least now we have better control of the board with this mode. Hinterland Sanctifier, okay. Number 2. Okay, we're not getting the black mana we need, but that's okay. Stock up for now. Let's dig 2 cards deep. Okay, I guess Omen and... Actually, hold on. Burst Lightning... And Omen. Get those. Okay. Okay, so if you're considering instead we should do a more of an actual tempo, like full-on tempo, I suppose we could do that as well. It's okay. Take the time to think about it for a moment here while we try to see if we can actually get this game going here. Gorehound. Okay, and our opponent has Raise the Past. Okay. So that means they're going to be bringing back everything, even if we blow up the whole board. Okay, we got the Siege. Doesn't really get a chance to do much of anything right now. So for now, I'll put it down still. We'll just put it on Teamer. I mean, I see what you're getting at here. Now it kind of just sits here and doesn't do anything until we actually get our creature out, which is going to be a while. Okay. 10th planet. Remember the time I helped you with the Eldrazi deck and I mentioned about an Eldrazi Line Breaker? Yeah, that was a really good card for the mono aggro Eldrazi deck. And that actually was good, to the point where actually I wanted to start building that deck itself. Even if we don't have historic in actual paper, I like the deck enough where I think I actually might make that into a modern deck. Okay, so our opponent is going off here. So, again, we're experimenting right now with Azula. So that is the whole game plan right now, my fire friends. It is... We're still trying to tweak it just a little bit more. So it's down to 17. They have a fair... Oh, we're just definitely not getting what we need right now. Okay, well, still make it work, everybody. But interesting deck our opponent has. There's like an Esper Raise the Past Reanimator deck. Very interesting, by the way. So Burst Lightning away the knee. So the life gain at least is off for now. Down to 14. Founding the third path. Huh. It's actually a very interesting build they have. Okay. Omen of the Seas. I'm sure our opponent is probably looking at us like, what the heck are we trying to play? Okay. But we're still going to try to make it work. Floodpit's Drowner. Does that really help us out anymore? Maybe not. Actually, no. We'll probably just keep that just for the spot removal. So we get our swamp now. Pass. Okay, Drowner comes in. Okay, so... Chris Stim, I've been having a lot of fun with green firebending student nonsense. Additional combats and firebending is fun. Well, thanks again for that, and thanks again for joining us this morning. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Huh, I really want to like firebending student. I know a lot of people... Okay, our opponent managed to get their little combo off here. Okay, well, that's it for us, everybody. We didn't get this going here. And then, wait, we can't even interact. Okay. We didn't technically get the interaction until it was too late, but that's fine. We would have lost anyway. Okay, so... Ouch. I mean, we're still at the bottom, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. We're still trying to find ways to make Azula work here. But don't worry, I know we can do it. Okay. Or maybe we should try... Hold on. Okay, so... I'm still trying to look at this and see what we can do to work with this here. So, based on what we've been recommended so far, with the Frostcliff Siege, or maybe, I don't know. Okay. Here's my thought process right now. Well, I like what we're trying to shape this into. I still feel like because we're going all in on the combo, it does feel like it's very like, we don't do anything until Azula comes out. And that's a 4-drop. So that means we have to wait minimum until turn 4 to actually get her out. And that's assuming our opponent does not blow her up. So until then, we need to keep control of the board until we can get this all going. Tempo plays are not bad. I'm not against that. I'm just trying to figure out what is the best way we can make this all work. Or maybe, I don't know, like, do we bring in... Should I even bother with this? I'm trying to think right now. Third Path Iconoclast? Maybe that would be our helpful option there? I'm not sure. Okay. Alright. Well, still trying to think, because I want to make her work. I really want to make this deck work. We'll give this maybe... Okay, here. Okay, I got an idea here that's... I'm not sure. I'm actually kind of now fizzling here on my brain about trying to figure out, like, how do we make this work? The idea, in theory, does work, but at the same time, we're still not quite where we want to be at with this. Okay, scratch that. We'll cut the Monster's Rage entirely and bulk up. Okay, so you want to go tempo instead with her. Huh, okay. Well, we can give that a shot as well. I mean, that kind of betrays kind of what I wanted to do with the deck, but okay. If you want to instead... I guess we can go with a different game plan with her. So instead, what? We do, what? Flash Auras? And spot removal, disruption... Yeah, Azula's not an easy card to work with here. I know the easier route with her also would probably, I guess it would just be mostly either, if it's not tempo, it'd just be a Grixis control deck. A Grixis control deck is not usually my style, but I suppose that also would be a little bit more of the practical way to play with her. And the Siege 2 also gets cut. Okay. Okay. Don't worry, everybody. If you're still curious about how this all works, I will still leave in the details of this once we're done here. We'll do, of course, a link to the original deck if you were curious about that. And then we'll do a version 1.5 once we get this going here. And then finally, of course, there'll be the 2.0, i.e. the upgraded deck, once we're completely done. I think it will be we'll have a little bit more to work with here once we actually can go non-budget. But we'll worry about non-budget as soon as we kind of have down a refined idea of what we want to do for this version here. Okay, so you want to try more of a mono blue tempo, you say? Okay. Okay. I suppose that could work. Okay, so... Excuse me. So with this... So we've cut now 10 cards out of it, and this is what we're working with here. Okay. Still trying to look here. And again, feel free anybody to chime in if you would like to about what you would like to consider for this. So, what we're trying to do right now is we're trying to build, or at least rebuild, a Firelord Azula deck here in the Pioneer format. We're looking at trying to take advantage of her abilities here. She copies stuff, which is great. But at the same time, she also is, I guess it's kind of hilarious because it is on flavor for her as a character. She's also a little fragile because she has no real protection. She's just super aggro and could do some really cool stuff if she's allowed to swing. But the only hard part about that is just trying to keep the board clear until she can actually get her swing in and do a ton of damage and also get a bunch of extra value. That is where we're at here. So that is what we're trying to do. And then right now, okay, 6 removal and 6 counter spells, you say. Ooh, spicy. Okay. Okay, hold on one second here. So then, in that case then, so do we keep everything as is? We can. And then for anybody that's also watching, our stipulation for now, at least, is we want to keep this budget at least for a little bit longer. And then we can do a non-budget version once we are kind of are satisfied with where we're at. So, with that... And I think to a self player, maybe trying to go with all 3 colors maybe might be a bit of a betrayal. I don't know. I think, because I'm also trying to think this out of my head here. Maybe it's a trap to try to squeeze all 3 different varieties of removal and spell slinging with Azula. Maybe it might be better to go with 1 or 2 colors and then splash for the 3rd, or maybe not even bother with the 3rd color. So that way we don't have to, like, pressure ourselves to make Azula work here. I don't know. What y'all think, everybody? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you on this one. But this one, I guess, also reminds me that at some point we will try to do another stream where we'll try to build a deck from the ground up. We'll pick, maybe, I'll maybe ask the... I'll put a poll out there to ask, like, what character you would like us to build around. And all of you can then kind of chime in to see what we can build with a future deck down the line. Okay. Kristim asking right now, what was the original WinCon? Okay, so here was what we were trying to do with earlier. All right, so hold on. We'll keep this one for a second here. So the original version of the Azula deck, it was a bit of a risky gamble, but the original version was trying to utilize a 3-card combo to get a one-shot win. So the original deck was trying to utilize Frostcliff Siege. So with this, you pump up Azula, give her a trample and haste, and on turn 4, turn 5 most likely, you'll have her out, she swings, she'll pump her, she'll get the firebending pump, and then from there, we will then use bulk up. So this was the original idea. With this, you should be able to get a one-shot hit with bulk up, Frostcliff Siege, and Firelord Azula. So that was the original idea for the deck. In theory, it is nice, but it is also a glass cannon strategy. So in other words, we're all in on the combo, or our deck does absolutely nothing. So that was the only downside to the deck. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of where we were originally at. My friend here, as you can see here on the chat, Densplendid, has been trying to recommend an alternate way to build her, where we're trying to look at now maybe like a tempo version. Again, I'm not against any ideas. I'm always open-minded to whatever you guys want to recommend, but it just also feels like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what is the most consistent way we can get the combo up, or if that combo doesn't work, what's a better way to utilize her in 60 card? I know it's probably also the lazier way. We could have just played her in Brawl, but again, what fun would that be? I always play a lot of Brawl decks anyway, and I want to take a break from Brawl, at least for a day or so, where we can kind of play around with something else here in Ranked. So at least that's where I was at. My idea originally that I had as a backup plan was going to be, instead, maybe we bring in Third Path Iconoclast, which can work with the Frostcliff Siege with a Firelord Azula, and then we can kind of start building from there a bunch of extra value by then having this out, and then we can start digging through other pieces with cards like Stock Up here, and some card draw, some spot removal, until we can get everything ready. Third Path Iconoclast is nice because we can keep making soldiers, and then also they can be nice chump blockers until Azula is ready to swing in. That's originally what I was going to try to also do as like a plan B. Densplendid. We need to go like Dimir Rogue's route, as we have a few creatures, but those creatures are very strong and have a bit of protection removal counterspells. Okay. Okay, I see what you're trying to do here, Densplendid. Here's also where things also kind of get a little miffy for me. The only hard part is the more we start morphing away from the original game plan here, the more I feel like, I don't know, it feels like the deck now doesn't need Azula to actually do anything. That's the only tricky part, is I still want her to integrate it completely into this, because that's what we want. And I do appreciate you helping me out here. But again, by going this route here, this also might be a little bit tricky. Okay, ooh, what about Picnic Ruiner? Which one is that one again? Hold on. Let's see. Picnic. Oh, I see what you're trying to do here. Okay, so you actually... The only hard part about this is I would love to use the other side too, but that's also tricky because Picnic Ruiner here then makes us go into a goofy 4-color deck. I don't know if we're ready for that. The only tricky part also, keep in mind, is we also want to maintain at least a budget version of this, at least for now. We can go non-budget a little bit later on, but I wanted to at least try this out. Okay, so I have an idea here. Dead Splendid, I know you're still trying to brew here for a second, but hear me out for a second. I'm going to try to build something really quick here. If you have ideas for shaping it around, I'm totally cool with that. But let me see if an idea I have that I want to try out, at least just once here, might actually work. So we're going to throw in the Third Path Iconoclast. I know, someone's going to tell me, like, don't do this, but I want to try it. So, Third Path Iconoclast here. And then from there, we have a go wide and we have a go big strategy. So Azula has backup options with Third Path Iconoclast. Stockos, Frostclave Siege, we can keep these as well. The bulk up. And let's see, Flip Hit Surrounders, our tempo play here. So I think that might be better. Or, let's see. I still want to get in... Hold on. I think I have a better option here for protection. So here's what I'm also looking at too. Let's see here. Where's it at? Where's it at? Okay, you see a guard approach. So with this plan here, the idea I'm trying to think is, okay, so this also is tappable, but also we can get Hexproof, which protects Firelord Azula until we actually have our whole game plan off. So that's, I think, maybe what I want to try to do here. Okay, and then... Let's see. I suppose that means that for this, we could just cut the Fatal Pushes completely. And then let's see here. But we also want another 1-drop. Alright. So with this... Or maybe we just go up more lands. Maybe we actually probably need more lands. I don't know. So... Let's see. This build here... Okay. I think I'll give a shot to the one that I have here. And we'll try that. Guys, want to cut the 2 bulk ups and add 2 negates and keep the Fatal Push. Okay. You really don't want me to do my combo here, Dense Limit. Every time I'm like, I want to do the bulk up combo, but I see what you're trying to do here. I get it. Okay. Cut the 2 bulk ups, add 2 negates. And the Fatal Pushes. Okay. So then what is that? Go back down to 22 lands? Okay. So. Hold on. Oop. Well. Wasn't expecting to brew this much on stream, but it is. But I'm totally cool with it. And then. Okay. So for this, do we cut then the It'll Quench You Thens? And then we do it this way. I want to give this one a shot here. I don't expect too much out of it, but maybe it might work. Aw. I really want the card to go up, but okay, fine. We'll cut it. Okay. I see what you're trying to do there. So then put back the Quench. All right. So that's what we're looking at currently right now. The one that I would like to try out. Okay, fine. We'll cut out Frostclave Siege. I get what we're trying to do there. But we were trying to do that as like card drop. But okay. I get what you're trying to do there. Okay. So this is the version I'm going to try out for myself, for my own personal thing. My fire friend here, Den Splendid, still probably has ideas and probably disagrees with me on how I want to build this. But that's okay. Here's how we're going to do this. We'll keep this as is. But again, we'll try one more time with re-sculpting it a little bit more. I think after this, though, I'm going to try to then do a non-budget version. So after this, We'll keep this version that I have right now, but then we'll go to an upgraded version. So after this, if you guys really want to go super nuts with Azula here, let me know what your ideas are for how you would build her for Pioneer. 60 card. Okay, so we have right now... Okay. It's going to be a while before we get to do anything here. We only have one land. Wow, 22 lands. We only got one land? Okay, let's try this again. Okay. Ugh. Not ideal, but I guess we can keep this. We'll put back one Azula. And then from here, Maestro Theater. So this will help us at least get our red source out. Okay, that's fine. We'll test this out. But if you have more ideas, don't be afraid to keep tossing them out there. Totally open to it. Okay, so we did get our island. So with that, play our island and pass. Okay, so with this one, the hard part again with all this is we need to make sure Azula can actually swing, ideally on the turn she comes down, because again, we have opponents, they're going to blow her up the first chance they get. Okay, third path Iconoclast. Okay. Throw that down. Okay, I know. It doesn't look like it does much for now, but it can get there. At least that's what I want to try. Okay, Swamp. Alright, they got Liliana. So that means they will tick down.
Something suspicious is going on. And for once,
Do they?
it's not my
Of course
fault.
they do. Come on, opponent. There you go. Okay. First lightning.
Off you
So,
go.
I mean, I guess that means we just take out Liliana here.
Oh, that's my cue to leave.
Okay, so from here... Okay. Castle Walkway. Shieldred. Okay, so Shieldred's gotta go. So for that, Flood Pit Surrounder. Tap it down. Okay, Fatal Pushes we cannot use. Oh, I would love to use these, but can't do it. So instead we swing. Shieldred gets bounced away. So at least that's out off the field for now. Okay, Demolition Field. Shieldred number 2. Okay. So now we really need... not another Azula. Okay. Well, this one is not working out for us. Okay. So, once we're done with this match, and I think I'm probably also going to try to find a way to... Maybe I'll make a bonus video in the future about how we can really make Azula work. Not that it's saying we can't do it today. But right now, we're still kind of struggling to kind of find the right build for her. At least in Pioneer. Okay, opponent does swing. Okay, we just have nothing cracked to use these Fatal Pushes and get rid of his Shieldred here. Opponent is a discard deck, but they haven't really made us discard, really. So, I don't know. Yeah, we're kind of fizzling here. Wow. We have... we have all 4 Azulas in hand and we can't do anything with them? Ugh. Ugh. Well, maybe I'll highlight this as one of our worst matches. Yeah. No stock-ups or anything? Absolutely dreadful. Alright. You know what? I'm not even going to bother. That was an absolute disaster, everybody.
That's rough, buddy.
Yeah, you said it, Zugo. That was rough. Okay. So, here's what I'm going to do, everybody. If you're still interested in the original version of the deck, I will still leave a link for that. I'm probably not going to bother with this pile that I'm trying to do right here. Let's do it this way. So we're at least now at the halfway point of the stream. Let us find a way to make her work better. So I think what I'm going to do here is... Let's copy this. Let's actually now just not hold back. What if we took off our restrictions of a budget deck? And let's see now what can really go all out. So let's do this now. So I'm going to rename this, of course. I think the only insane part, however, is us trying to find a way to make this work, and it has not worked for us. So this time around, we'll just go with the upgraded deck now, and we'll just try to make that work. No cabbages either.
My cabbages!
I love the cabbage guy, though. Okay, real talk, though. So here's how I'm going to do this. All right, we're going to do a full cleansing here. So that means... I'm actually, you know what, we'll just do it this way. Wait, I realize this is the simpler way. just scrap it all. We're starting all over. We're starting with Azula. Staying to Pioneer for now. We're going to find a way to make this work. Before at least the stream is done, within the next hour or so, we'll try to find a way to make this work. I swear, we'll make this work. Okay. So, and I guess I'll now ask the question out to the entire stream. How would you build Fire Lord Azula for Pioneer? That means 60 card format, so we're not going to do a Brawl / Commander deck. That might be a little too easy. We want to try to find a way to make her work. Would you do this as a combo deck? Would you do this as a control deck? A tempo deck? What would you like to do, everybody? Let me know in the comments below. We're going to now open up the floor to anybody that wants to try to see if we can make her work as is. This version, however, will be non-budget. So, don't be afraid to throw out whatever you want. We'll see if we can try to make this work before the end of the stream. I want to get one win with her at least before we are done today. I don't care how the deck is done. Just want to get at least one win. All right. So with that, we will then take the time to... I'll leave it open for a couple minutes. But based on her ability, what we're looking at here is just trying to find a way to make her work with her stuff. Yes, we will make this work. So all of you that are, I see that we're getting some more people that are joining in right now and watching. If you're watching right now, if you're curious, feel free to chime in right now about how you would want to build Fire Lord Azula for Pioneer. Our original deck did not really go off. We maybe kind of tried a little too hard in one direction, and it kind of all ended up being a pile of nothing. So, wiping the slate clean, and we are also non-budget for the remainder of the stream. So if you would want to build her, what would you want to do? What are your suggestions? I would be more than happy to hear you out on anything. In the meantime here, let me just try to rename this right now. Let's see. Okay. As always, I cannot spell. All right, so this is an Azula upgrade deck. As far as why I always, for those who are curious, why I always end up putting the E, I keep putting P for Pioneer, but then I also use P for Pauper, so I just use E for Explorer. That's just how I do it. Anyway. Okay. So, what do we want to do with Azula? Oh, yeah, okay. So, since we're going to not have to worry about a budget now for the remainder, what is it? Just the usual shocks? Verge lands? Fast lands? What do we want with her? So, let's start there. Okay. So, for now, I'm guessing, what is it? We're just going to work with all the shocks we can. Do we want Verge lands? Again, fast lands. Let me know what you guys would like to see. So for now, cut everything down for a moment here just so we can just make sure everything doesn't look muddled up. So what? The simple answer? Shocks aplenty. And then just kind of sculpt them out based upon what we have, what we want. Let's see. Okay. All right, all right. What types of cards are these? These are Magic the Gathering cards, Pop-Off. How you doing today? Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. And thanks again for joining us on the chat. So right now we're just right in the middle of kind of having a community moment where we're kind of trying to build a deck from the ground up. The original version of the deck that we had didn't work how I wanted it to. So we're going to go back to the drawing board and we're going to just start from the beginning about how we want to build this. So for now, okay, 2 Triomes, Shocks, and Fastlands. Okay. Okay, so that sounds like a spot we want to be in. So let's see. 2 Triomes. I can go there. 2 Xander's Lounge. And then Fastlands aplenty. Hold on. Fortunately, though, the Fastlands have gotten a lot cheaper thanks to Thunder Junction and the other sets that came out about a year ago. So that's actually a pretty good time now to actually get the Fastlands here. Oh, and of course, Phyrexia. That's actually good. Pop-Off, I'm doing great. I got a call from a lawyer's office yesterday and went to pick up some Pokemon cards. I don't know about any of these cards. Oh, okay, so you're a Pokemon TCG kind of guy? I mean, do you play Pokemon TCG? Are you someone that likes to collect? I actually used to collect Pokemon back in the day, but actually, ironically, I sold off some of my base and base 2 cards back when I thought that, oh man, Pokemon I thought was going to completely die out at that point. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to just sell my collection, which ironically led me to Magic the Gathering as you see here today. But I do see that we actually did see a resurgence of that. Okay, so for now, I think the simpler option will be I'll just make sure to put in all of the stuff like this, and then we'll start sculpting and figuring out like what we want more or less. Trucks like shores, and then you said one of every basic, which is fair. I'm fine with that. Okay, so one of each of the basics. Okay. So right now, obviously, I know 29 lands. That's not actually what we're running with, everybody. Just hold on a second. We're just trying to put out what we think works and then sculpt from there. Pop off. I'm not a collector. My dad was. Oh, okay. That's cute. That's cool. Okay, Pokemon boosters. Okay. Do you have a favorite Pokemon, by the way? At some point, I mean, I would love to see if I could do other trading card games besides Magic. I actually do play on my off time once in a while when I play Yu-Gi-Oh, even though I'm terrible and I have no idea how all the cards work beyond the old days. What is it? I do have also collect Lorcana, so that's the Disney trading card game. It's cute, it's fun. I do like the art. They have great art for that. And what is it? Mrs. Inferno, who's also right now, she's sleeping, so I try to keep it a little quiet here. She also collects Pokemon cards, so that's her jam. So yeah, I guess you could say, yeah, we're definitely big on trading cards here in a variety of different games. Ideally, I would have loved to have collected One Piece, but man, I cannot find any One Piece cards anywhere. It's just been kind of really hard. I mean, for the first year, I regret not buying them. But at the same time, I mean, I bought a lot of Magic products, so that's kind of the reason why I don't have enough money for multiple trading card games. And that, I guess, leads me to a question. As we're trying to build this deck, everybody, what is your trading card games of choice? Are you all fans of just Magic? Do you play other trading card games out there? Let me know in the comments, everybody. I would love to hear from you. Pop off. A first round limited printed. You don't know anything about cards? Okay. But but do you like Pokemon in general? Even if you're not a trading card person or you don't collect cards? Are you big on Pokemon? Do you play any of the games? Dense Planet, going back to us here on this deck building. Okay, different idea we go. We go control and focus on keeping Azula alive. I mean, that's probably the most... that actually might be not as crazy as you think, Dense Planet. I was kind of thinking, like, maybe we should just go, yeah, the practical route. Just a control deck with Azula. Which also, ironically, is actually very on flavor for her. I mean, she is a controlling person, so... I guess that works better for her. So, maybe we'll do that instead. Yeah, maybe we just focus on just making a control package with Azula and just worry about just doubling up. We're not going to care too much about her fire bending ability. That's more of like a bonus. So as long as she's attacking, we can just double up everything and just get more value. Okay, let's go that route. So if anybody else objects, let me know. But it sounds like we're going to go with a control build of Fire Lord Azula here in Pioneer. So in that case then, how do we want to build a control deck with Azula? We still got time to kind of frame this out here. Oh, 1999 edition? Oh, man. That was back in the day. But man, I'm old now. I remember Pokemon back then. I was like 13, 14 years old during that craze when it first came out. That was back in the day. I reminisce so much a little bit about that. And then realize now, what year are we in right now? 2025? We're actually almost 2026. Good Lord, I'm getting super old now. But again, I'm actually still a fan of Pokemon. I am. I do like the game quite a bit. What are y'all thoughts on Pokemon, everybody? Like it? Hate it? Do you collect anything from it? Do you play the game still? Let me know, everybody. I would love to hear from you. Let's see. Okay, a lot of big instant burn spells, you say. Okay, we can definitely do that. So let's actually now go with red. All right, instants. Okay, so what do we want for this? And don't worry, again, we'll carve down the lands in a moment here. I just wanted to throw that all out there before we start sculpting. So, before we do that... Okay, so what do we want here? Cards like Burst Lightning. Do we want cards like Firebending Lesson? Lightning Axe, big removal. Reckless Rage. Let's see, even Shocks. Let's see, what route do we want to take with this? Big instant burn spells, which does sound really fun for me. Or do we want stuff with flexibility like Cathartic Pyre, which can also discard cards and draw cards? How do we want to do this here? pop-off. I'm not a collector. My grandma used to sell them at her store. Oh, that's wonderful. Does she still have the, I'm guessing at this point maybe she doesn't, but does your grandma still have the store? Was it like a convenience store? Or was it like a store that sells collectibles? Okay. Take your time to answer, though. No rush. Okay, so if we're going to go with a route where Azula is going to do big burn spells, what y'all think, everybody? Do we throw in things like Burst Lightning to double them up? Or do we want things that are more like a Lightning Axe? I suppose Burst Lightning is more flexible because you can also go to face if you want to. And then with that, I mean, Lightning Strikes. Hey, man, it has even Azula's, even has her on the art there, so I guess maybe that's on flavor. All right, or do we want Lightning Strikes? I mean, also other options too. We got Searing Blood here. Oh, they even have like a bonus version of this right here from the game itself. Okay, but yeah, let me know, everybody. Trying to figure out here what is our best options here. Let's see. We definitely can. I mean, there's definitely a lot of burn spells we can work with here. A lot of stuff that's great, but we also want to make sure it's stuff that we can also work with here. That can help us, again, get what we want off. That extra mana can be helpful because that means the magic number would then be 2 color or 2 drops. Okay, yeah, so we definitely throw in Burst Lightning, so that's good. And then what else do we want? Maybe Racking Claw. Oh, okay. I know. I'm trying to call myself here. Racking Claw sounds very exciting because that would double strike Fire Lord Azula, and if we don't need it, we can just cycle it away, so we can draw another card out of it. Just me trying to be aggro again with the deck. But again, we'll hold off on that. Let's see here. Okay, so Burst Lightning. Do we want more cheap removal and other colors, or do we want counter spells just to keep control of the board? The only tricky part, again, is going into other colors. Searing Blood. Oh, I like Searing Blood, by the way. I do like that card. Even if it's not the best right now. Searing Blood also doubled up does help us out a bit. That actually kind of also, definitely I love the flavor of this, by the way. That definitely something would be Azula would be doing. It's like just burning away our opponents here. Okay, so Fire Lord Azula right now. We're going to be working with Burst Lightning and Searing Blood as burn spells, which go perfectly with Firebending, even if at 2. We can give it a shot. What's nice about Searing Blood is also by doing that damage, that's 3 damage to them. So that means, in theory, if we double up, that's 6 damage to their face while also removing a creature. That's actually really good value if we can manage to have it go off. Let's see here. What else do we want? Lightning Strike, okay. Definitely love Lightning Strike. Okay. All right. We want to try to start sculpting this around this. So with that, and don't worry, again, we can, whatever the ratios are for cards right now, if anybody wants to say 2 ofs, 3 ofs or whatever, that's fine. Let me know. We'll start shaping it to make sure we can fit it into 60 card. So for now, while we're doing that, see, we'll probably try to carve down a little bit, at least probably maybe at 24 lands. So that means kind of cut 5 lands for now. Might as well. 2 hot girls together? Totally. Let's see here. Okay, so while we're trying to shape this a little bit more, let us try this. Oh, you want Chandra? Oh, I know you, Dense Leonard. You obviously, I mean, I know you're a big fan of Chandra, but I mean, that does kind of work well. Her ability can help us out a little bit there. Okay, so Planeswalker. Okay, where's Chandra at? So how many copies of Chandra do we want? Are we going to get a whole set? 3? 2? What do we want to do with Chandra here? Her ability does help us out with burning and also digging through our deck, so that is nice. The adding red mana can be helpful with certain situations, so that's actually pretty good too. Let's see. While you're doing that, though, I'm still going to try to sculpt a little bit more of the lands here. So for now, I think We'll cut each of those. So now that puts us down to 26 lands. Okay. 2 copies of Chandra, huh? Okay. Okay, that's cool. So we got 2 Chandras now. So we got quite a few 4-drops right now, but that's okay. This is if it's a control deck, we could definitely afford to have a bigger set of splashier things here. Working with 26 lands currently because I trimmed down some of our fast lands. So 26 lands is agreeable with a control deck. So that does give us what now? Room for 16 more cards. So I guess what is it? We want to go with... Do we want to do anything with more instants and sorceries? Do we want more flash things? Things that just keep the board under our control? Okay. In the meantime here, still trying to make it all work, everybody. I guess at this point now we're kind of like becoming a deck building stream. If there's any ideas you guys have about how you want to make a control deck with Azula, let me know, everybody. Even if you don't have... Even if you're watching this on the replay, let me know at least in the comments of the replay. I would love to hear from you guys on that one. But while we're building this out right now, if you are enjoying at least us deck building and our usual streams where we do a lot of budget decks, and if you haven't done this already, show some love. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you're watching the content across X or Instagram, Twitch, or YouTube. Well, of course, we try to do 2 streams a week, and we usually will try to have some fun set decks for you guys to check out there. If you haven't already done so, you can also check out, of course, our main channel where we do the majority of our content, which is on YouTube, where we do weekly budget decks. We throw in, of course, some fun short little clips for us, highlights from the live streams for anything you haven't seen before. And, of course, we throw in, for those of you that do want to support the Patreon, we do have, of course, some exclusive, unique gameplays there and some also unique videos there that don't make it to the main channel. But if you want to, at the very least, you can also join us on Discord. And there you can chat with us in our growing group of fiery friends about whatever you want, anything even magic related or non-magic related. We appreciate all of your support, everybody. Your support will help keep this channel going. And all links, of course, will be located in the details below once we're done with the stream. Okay. Oh, you want to go 2 Shieldred Edicts? Okay. Okay. We'll go with that. Shieldred Edict, that is good. 2 Shieldred Edicts. 2 Heartless Axe. Okay, where's Heartless Act at? Okay, there it is. Oh, poor Appa. That was actually a really sad episode, by the way. So, 2 Heartless Acts, 2 Shielder. So, we're shaping ourselves now into a control build. Looks like we're going mostly Rakdos. But we can, of course, add in some blue if we want to. But it is definitely, at the very least, this does feel like it's very Azula style. Azula, of course, for those that don't know, who haven't seen Avatar, and you totally all should, Azula here is a very manipulative and very controlling individual. She's definitely someone that is not afraid to use whatever means to gain whatever she wants. However, at this point on her card here, she does look a little unhinged, but by this point in the series, near the end of it, she started getting a little bit more kookier, if you will, and that's also where she kind of gets a little bit more hectic. So that's kind of like, I guess, where we want to kind of go with flavor-wise with the deck. So we definitely want to take advantage of her abilities here, but she is also a little reckless. But in order to do so, however, we definitely want to try to build around a deck that kind of focuses on her ability there. It gives us a little extra power, some removal, or just anything else that will help us, of course, make sure that Azula makes sure she stays in control the whole game. So that is, again, how we're looking at building this. Let's see here. What else we want to do? Do we want any card filtering against Splinets? Do we want to bring back the stock ups? Would that help us out? Ooh, Thoughtseize. Okay. Well, I mean, Thoughtseize definitely is on flavor for her. Okay. Throw on Thoughtseize. Definitely would be something that Azula would do. Oh, I wish we had Thoughtseize with Avatar art. Oh, that would be so sweet. I could definitely see that would be an amazingly perfect on flavor for Azula there. Vexlor 90HF. Hello, good morning, my fire friend. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Wait, it's not morning anymore. Good afternoon. I messed that up. I totally have forgotten that it's now afternoon where I'm at. Hello, loving the gameplay at work at the moment. Bring some friends in afterwards. Kindly add me on the Discord here. Oh, if I can, but we'll do that when I can. But thanks again for joining us today. Okay, let's put in Thoughtseize as well. Discard the opponent's will to live. Stock up as well. Azula does need to be prepped, though. Okay, so I kind of figured, yeah. Stock up probably would be good here. Okay, so we got the stock ups here. Bloods. Got the Thought Seeds for stripping our opponent's hand. We have room for 4 more cards, as is, with 26 lands. I mean, we are very heavy. Do we want anything else? Do we want a Wrath? Or do we want more control? We still have room for more cards here. Firelord Azula definitely wants to take control of everything. Do we want more hard removal? Do we want anything that kind of helps us has flexibility? Let's see. Okay, so with that, what else do we want here? And again, don't be shy, everybody. If you want to chime in, appreciate that. But even if you don't, that's totally fine. I still appreciate you guys checking this out. Feel free to silently judge me if you'd like to. Okay, but otherwise, okay, so mostly right now we're Rakdos deck with blue splashed in, which actually kind of works a little bit better overall with everything. But if there's anything else we want to try here, let's kind of see what we can do to mix it up a bit here. All right, in the meantime. Okay, so with that, let's see what we're going to try to do here to make this work. Okay, don't worry, everybody. We will get to the gameplay in a little bit. We're almost done here. We'll see if we can try to make this work. Do we want counter spells? Maybe that might be better for us. Okay, otherwise, let's see. So let's see how we're looking. Our curve does look a little funky, everybody, but it should work. It definitely should work. Okay, so let's see. Yes. Oh, the Ozai Saga. Okay, so let's see. Do I actually have that? Hold on. Ozai's Cruelty. And Ozai the Phoenix King. Okay. So, let's see. Wait. Did we miss something? Hold on. So, oh, okay. Are you talking about this one, Dunsplendid, the Rise of Sozin? Is that the board wipe you want? It does destroy all creatures. So is this the one you're talking about? So the Rise of Sozin. Part 1 here. This is a saga that destroys all creatures. Part 2, so choose a card name, search your opponent's card, and then exile those cards. And then you exile the saga. It flips into Firelord Sozin. Then he has Menace and Firebending 3. Whenever Sozin deals combat damage to a player, pay X. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. I was able to figure out the card. I was like, wait a second. I'm not sure which card he's talking about, but okay, we found it. But do we want a whole set? Wait, can I build a whole? Okay, I have enough mythics where we can carve the whole thing out. Unless if maybe we only need 2 or whatever. I'm totally open to crafting it if we need to. Pay X. When you do, put any number of target creature cards with the total value of X or less from your player's graveyard into the battlefield. Okay, so this actually is kind of nice because if we can flip, Firelord Sozin can bring back Azula if she does get blown up. So that's actually a pretty cool idea there. I do like that. No big deal. Do we want a whole set? Also, with our land base right now, we have 26 lands. So technically, we can afford to have a really big option here. Okay, put 2. Okay, that's cool. And then now we have room for, what is it, 2 more cards. Unless we want to shape... Well, actually, no, we're actually a pretty high average mana curve. So we actually probably want to keep the 26 lands. It is a 6 mana Wrath. Very expensive, but it can work. Okay, so we have room for 2 more cards. Is there anything else we want to shape or readjust? I feel like... Okay, so we have card disruption with Thoughtseize. We have burn/removal with Burst Lightning. We have some spot removal with Heartless Act. Shielder's Edict for an Edict effect. Lightning Strike does well with Burst Lightning here. Searing Blood as well, mostly for creatures, but also it'll hurt our opponents too. Stock Up can help us dig through our deck. Chandra here helps support us by allowing us to do card draw, some burn effects, some ramp. Fire Lord Azula is going to be our main piece here, which is our only creature, but she'll also do stuff here. Ooh, was it Black Sun? Hold on. I think I know which one we're talking about here. Okay, so what is it? Where is it? Wait, I'm dumb. Just type it in. Okay, Day of Black Sun. That's the one you're talking about here, right? Okay, so I guess, all right, we get our last two there. So Day of Black Sun. So that actually looks pretty cool here. Okay, so I think that's mostly what we're going to be working with here. So Day of Black Sun is going to be, what is it? And then destroy those creatures. Okay, so with this, we'll sculpt. It's mostly going to be Rakdos colors, and we splash for blue. So for that one, we actually can then cut down. We're mostly going to go all in on Rakdos here. Let's see. So, and then from here, blue will get cut a smidge here. We still want to make sure we have enough with red in there. So then, I think I know how we can do this then. Okay. So with this, okay, so black and red, and then cut down on the blue. Okay, and then here. Okay, I got it. I got it. So from here, that means we'll only need just 2 of each. So 2 Watery Graves and 2 Dark Slick Shores. Okay, there we go. That should be good. Azula Unhinged. Okay, so this actually seems pretty good here. So with that, let's give this a shot. Okay. All right, so Azula upgraded, everybody. Let's give this a shot. Maybe this actually might be the one to do. All right, so we'll jump back into ranked here. Azula upgraded here. And if you do like this one, don't worry, everybody. We will make sure to put this one as a link into the details. For those of you that are watching on Instagram, I appreciate you all there. But just keep in mind that, again, until we can hit our goal of 1,000 followers on Instagram, the only awkward part is, and this is no thanks in part to Instagram, Instagram has not allowed me anymore to then save and put up replays of our live streams until I can hit 1,000 followers. So if you want to help me on that and allow us to finally get back our ability to then repost our live streams on Instagram, help me out, everybody, and put some follows on there on Instagram. If we hit 1,000, we can start putting the replays back up there. At least that's what my goal is for that. Michael's Mayhem. Yo, good afternoon, my fire friend. Thanks again for joining us today. How you doing? Hopefully having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Okay, so we're about to now see, thanks to my fiery friend here, Den Splendid, who has been very helpful in trying to rebuild Azula, can this version of Azula be the one that's going to get us our victory today? Let us find out. So it's going to be now a control build utilizing Azula, which is still on flavor for her. She's definitely going to be a very powerful thing. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be Selesnya Angels. All right, so we got to find a way around that quick. So we'll wait for a moment here. We'll see what they play. Okay, opponents. We didn't bother to do a sideboard, everybody, but don't worry. We will get there eventually with the sideboard. Okay, Bishop of Wings. Goes bye-bye. This is definitely where we're going to need a Wrath. We're definitely going to need a Wrath quick with this. Okay, Lightstall Inquisitor. Okay, so we exile a card. All right. I guess it'll be the Burst Lightning. Okay, that's fine for now. Blackleaf Cliff. Thoughtseize. Okay, let's get a peeky peek opponent. What do we got? Ooh, the Collected Company. Okay, that's got to go. Let's see. On the other hand, Collected Company's got to go. We can't have them get too much of a tempo play there. And we'll pass here. So, opponent. They did get their 4th land, so Collected Company out of the way was good. Let's see. I saw Inquisitor can also... Actually, hold on. Actually, no. We'll do it. So, that gets gone. 2 damage there. Righteous Valkyrie. Gaining that life. Not the easiest matchup here, but we're going to try. So... Blackleaf Cleaves. So we're going to wait for the Burst Lightning. We got to use that to take out Righteous Valkyrie ASAP. Otherwise, we're going to lose here. Okay, so with that, Darkslick Shores. I don't feel good about doing that, but I got to keep them low enough where we can actually hit them with other stuff. Okay. If we can get to our Wrath, then we would be perfectly fine here. Another 2. Okay. We got an island. We'll pass. So we can kick this. Wait, no, we can't kick this. I forgot. Ugh. We still have to pay a little bit more for this. Okay, Realm Walker. Okay. Angels. I hate Angels. We played Angels in the past, but yeah, we just have a hard time with dealing with this. Oh, dang it. It's already at 3 minutes. Ugh. Not a very good matchup to get us going with this. So opponent will hit that. Yep. Ouch. At 13. A Wrath here would be absolutely delicious right now if we can get it. But unfortunately, because they keep getting life. And we're down 1. I actually don't even know if we're going to be able to get this one. Okay. Even if I take it, yeah, everything's just too strong.
I'm the best fire starter there is.
I mean, I can hit Speaker of the Heavens. But at this point, yeah, they got us dead. All right. Oh, man. Okay. We're still not going to hold that against the deck right now. This is just our first game, everybody. We're still testing it out. We're still trying to see if we can make Azula work. But so far, we just had a horrible matchup there. Very creature heavy, and although we have Wraths in the deck, we just couldn't get into them. It's okay. We'll keep digging into it. We'll try again. Shaking it off. Not a big deal. Not giving up. But I would still like to ask all of you out there, your question on that one is, what would you like to... Well, how would you build an Azula deck? How would you build her in 60 card? I know everyone has easy ideas for like a commander or a brawl deck, but what about a 60 card? I think that's a better challenge, and that's also the reason why I wanted to do it this way today. Okay, so we got spot removal and burn technically. Okay, we'll keep this. All right, so for this, we'll hit ourselves first here in case our opponent has any turn 1 play. So the burst lightning. Oh, yeah. I probably should have mulliganed. Okay, so, Kingdom Protector. So, mono white? I guess we'll find out here. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Plains. Okay, Copperco Vanguard. Okay, so they're going to be a humans deck. I see. Okay. So I'm pretty sure at this point, Arena's going to now throw at us every single creature deck out there to face off against. But we're not giving up, everyone. We're not giving up. I know we can do it. Okay. We have Thalia. Nope, Popcorn Downer. Okay. Well, that's good. That's kind of what we're okay with. Okay, we just got to keep the board clear. Okay. So now... Okay. Still not quite where we're at, but that's okay. Guess we're now just blowing up the whole board until we can get to our next piece here. No big deal, everybody. We can do it. Okay, South Pole Voyager. Okay. They gain life. Annoying for now, but that's okay. Lightning strike away. Just gotta keep the board clear for a little bit. Steam Vents. Still not quite what we want. Tap. Okay. We have all the lands in the world. So we're definitely at least... Ugh, okay. Okay, deck. I get it. I mean, at least now we can cast anything we need to. We just need to get to that point. Okay. So. Okay, Searing Blood, okay. We're going to hold on to that for a moment. We'll see what our opponent does. Okay, opponent. Anything else? Human. Okay, so... Okay. That Earth Kingdom Protector does kind of hinder us a little bit, so we got to keep that out of the way. Yep, all lands. I mean, we do have 26 lands in the deck, so it is very land heavy. I'm hoping at least we get something that'll help us out here. Okay, Oath of Gideon. They make some tokens. That's cute. They gain life. We don't honestly care about the life because we can always... Come on, deck. Where's our creatures? Where is our wraths? Roaming Throne. Okay. Now, we definitely could use Day of Black Sun anytime now. Okay, opponent is rebuilding. But we are also out of gas. Wow, we're really out of gas. Come on! No! Where is our... Ugh. Ooh, boy. If it's not getting mana screwed, it's getting... Ugh. Oh, finally. Oh, jeez. Okay, so Day of Black Sun. Okay, so at least this gets us clear for now. So, okay. This at least will help us survive. Okay. Phew. Now, can we finally get some momentum back in our favor? We managed to blow up the board and we're at 1. I don't even know if we're actually going to survive this. We're going to try. Shepherd of the Flock. Okay, so they bounce that back. It's kind of a cute little combo there. Expensive, but it does work. Okay, opponent made some tokens. And they play Shepherd of the Flock. Okay. Yeah. I have not known anybody to actually play Shepherd of the Flock. Oh, come on, deck. Okay. So... I'll concede. Dang. It's okay. Not a big deal, everybody. Again, that's sometimes what happens. Sometimes you just end up mana screwed, and sometimes you just flood out like crazy. But we are, again, a control deck, so we are going to be rocking a lot of stuff here. It's okay. Shake it off. We're just going to keep going. We're not giving up. And again, we can still sculpt the deck a little bit more if we need to. We can keep playing around with it for a little bit longer. Let's see if we can squeeze in a couple more matches here. At this point, okay, so yay, we got Azula in hand. We have some lightning strikes and burst lightnings. And we had technically enough mana to cast her on turn 4. It all depends on what our opponent is trying to play. Okay. Maybe we can do it? Okay, Plains. Lunar Fetter. Okay, so is it life gain? Selesnya shenanigans again? Okay, I guess we'll find out soon. Okay, Black Cliffs. This time we're going to hold on to our burn spells because we need to see what is our opponent going to try to throw out. They have bigger threats that we have to worry about. Down to 19. Okay. Giada. Okay, so for sure we got to start blowing up the angels. Okay, Giada goes bye-bye. Okay, more angel shenanigans. Yes, I know. We can get one win. I know we can get at least one win with the deck. Don't fail me. Come on, deck. We can do it. If they're swinging with one creature, at least this buys us lots of time. Giada again. Lightning strike that. Okay, so Xander's Lounge. Okay, we might have to cycle that away, but for now, we'll play the Blackleaf Cliffs number 3. Okay. Still nothing from our opponents. Bishop of Wings. It's always Bishop of Wings. Okay. So for this, cycle away Xander's Lounge. Draw a card. Steam Vents. And a mountain. Where is the rest of our stuff? Okay, fine. Fine. Azula comes in. Opponent has actually been mana screwed, so maybe that is going to be hopefully our way to get in this. Okay, so they actually got their 3rd land drop. Resplendent. Jeez, they got the Resplendent Angel. So, here come the angels, everybody. Okay. Okay. Stock up, I guess, is not horrible, but still not ideal. Okay, at least we can dig now to get something out. Okay, so this actually should get us back in the fight. Get both of our burn spells. Okay, now we can finally have some fun here. Okay, so full control. Swing. Firebend 2. So with this, we can now start doubling up stuff. So, Resplendent Angel. There we go. And let's see, what do we want here? Actually, okay, I think we got this. Okay, say bye-bye. Much better. Okay, and then we... Okay, I think we do it this way. Okay, Burst Lightning. Alright, so hold on. Edict. There we go. Okay, so they have to lose the tokens. I know I kind of fumbled a little bit there, but that's okay. Okay, it makes sense. It makes sense now. Make a spirit. Still gain life, though. But okay. At least we kind of took control right there. Sort of. Okay, down to 31. We still have a long way to go, though. Okay. So we managed to get at least some of the creatures off the field. Not all of the creatures we want, but we will get there. Invasion of Gobakon. Okay. Annoying, but not the worst. Our Burst Lightning is more expensive, but we still have plenty of mana to work with here. They flip. Wow. They actually managed to flip that perfectly. Must be nice. Now they pump up all their creatures, while we're still kind of sputtering here. Okay, so... I guess we have no choice but to do this now. They're probably going to Light Shield Array us. Okay, Burst Lightning for full power. So with this... Okay, I really wanted to use this against... Let's see, okay. Okay, do they do it now? And... Token goes bye-bye. The North Veteran goes bye-bye. So they do not do it yet. Down to 27. Maybe we should have been to Creature Land. I don't know. But, oh man, this is such an uphill battle for us. Just trying to fight the life gain. Trying to fight all the creatures that they keep dumping on us. I mean, we have plenty of removal, so that's not the hard part. The hard part is just drawing into it. But okay. It's fine, everybody. We do have Wraths, so we do have ways of getting around everything. We just need to hopefully just hang in there long enough. Please? Just one win today would be great. I don't even care at this point if we get... Righteous Valkyrie. Okay, so that means this will pump it up. Joy. Okay. Searing Blood. Okay, that doesn't help us enough here. Unfortunately. It's not strong enough. Dang. Okay, so... Because that's 4 damage. Dang it. So, let's see. We could chump block for 1 turn. I mean, we can hope, but we are running out of time. And right now... Let's see, that's Xaxes to our face. Ugh. Youthful Valkyrie. So again, Righteous Valkyrie just really kind of hoses us a ton here. We don't have ways of getting... Okay, it's Phantom. And unfortunately, our burn spells are not strong enough. Okay, opponent swings. Yeah, we're getting too flooded. Maybe we need to cut down a land or two, but I swear, we're going to cut down a land. I'm not even going to bother blocking. We're just going to lose this one. We don't have enough. Dang. Alright. We'll do a quick little adjustment before we try to finish this up here. Still don't want to give up just yet. Wow, we have not won all day, by the way. But I mean, granted, we've been playing mostly where we've also been trying to tweak the deck a little bit here. So what is it? I mean, we have an average mana curve about 2.5. We have 26 lands. I think that would be enough, but maybe we might be a little bit too heavy there. So we'll trim down 1 land. Maybe we go up, what is it? Another Wrath? Or maybe better 24 lands, you say? Okay. So in that case, then, we'll do it this way. Okay, 25. We'll keep the Xander's Lounge, but then we'll cut... Let's see, what do we cut here? Cut the Dark Elixir Shores completely, so just Watery Graves. Okay. And then we need maybe some more hard removal. That's probably what we want instead. More hard removal, which blows up stuff. So. Okay, so for this, do we want things like Bitter Triumph, Cast Downs, Fatal Pushes? Let's see what else we can use here. Go for the Throats. Maybe that might be better for us. Trying to think right now what might be better. Let's see, Hero's Downfall. Or do we want to flash in with something else? We can also use cards like Bontu's Last Reckoning if we really want to get desperate for a early game Wrath. Let's see. I know we can fix this. This is fixable. Ooh, Murderous Rider? Maybe then we might want that. I can blow up creatures of Planeswalkers. And also it's a 2-for-1. What else do you guys think? What do you recommend? So you saw early on right there, we have the means to actually stop our opponent, but we were just running out of gas. Or at least we didn't have enough. We were flooding out way too much. Okay. Ritual of Soot. Let's see. Still trying to figure out here what's our best option. Let's see. Fire Nation Drill. Trying to think right now what's our best option here. And then based on what we have, Murderous Rider seems like a good start. We need more card draw. Okay, Deduce. So okay, we could use Deduce. We have the 2 Murderous Riders right now. I wanted to like Searing Blood, but I think Searing Blood might also be a little too weak for us. At least with how the deck is built right now. So maybe we drop those and put in Deduce. So that might help us out a little bit there. Let's see. Maybe like that. With Fatal Push. Okay. Fatal Push is always a good catch-all removal. Okay, hold on. Where's our Fatal Push at? Oh, there it is. Okay. So, okay, so... Sorry, to clarify. Okay, so do we not want Murderous Rider? Or how do we want to trim this around? And then for anybody else that's watching right now, how would you kind of cut this down a little bit here? Okay, so Fatal Push, good removal there. Thoughtseize for hand disruption. Burst Lightning also can be burn or also spot removal. Deduce helps us draw cards and also can keep it going because it allows us to again dig out more stuff. Because it allows us to do that stuff on our own end step there, which is nice. Keep the Heartless Axe and the Children's Edict for more hard removal. Lightning Strike for more spot removal and also can be burned to face. Stock Up also helps us dig out stuff. That means we got to get 4 cards. Let's see. So before we go today, I would like to at least get 1 win. I don't care how we get the win. We're going to see if we can try to get at least 1 win. We will, of course, do our wrap-up soon, everybody. And then once we're done there, we'll then kind of cover again overall everything else. Keep the Murderous Riders, cut the Heartless Axe, and cut the Rise of Sozin. Okay. Okay, Rise of Sozin, go bye-bye. And then Heartless Act goes. Okay. Add another Day of Black Sun. So 3. Okay. Do we go only 1 Murderous Rider then? Like that? Okay, no rush, no rush. I'm waiting for you, of course, to respond. Not a big deal. Okay, still trying to get the right ratio here, everybody. If I cannot get this done today, everybody, I will try to do a follow-up video where I can try to maybe sculpt this a little bit more, maybe on my own personal time to see if we can make this work. But even if we don't worry. Tomorrow we will have, in the evening, another awesome Fiery Fun stream. We'll have a completely different deck tomorrow, but don't worry. We're still going to keep the good times rolling just in case. Okay, so, is this what we want to try to work with here? Man, I really wanted to try and see if we can get Sozin to work, but we just couldn't draw into him. But that's okay. That's okay. So, 4 Black Suns in total, 3 Deduces and stock ups. Okay, so 3. So this is what we're looking at right now. Okay. Okay, so for this model right here, okay, so we have all the Day of Black Suns because we have plenty of mana to do it. Keep the 2 Murderous Riders. We'll go 3 stock ups, 3 Deduce. Okay. I think we can make this work. Okay, let's give this a shot with what we have. I'm not going to lie right now. We are running a little out of time because I also have to start taking care of stuff soon. But maybe we could push this stream out just a little bit longer. Just a little bit more. But I still appreciate you hanging in there. So thank you, everybody. All right, so let's see. 14, 10. Okay. We're going to do a quick little tweak here. Okay, get the 2 Watery Graves. Our Izzet colors are also a little low, so go up the Watery Grave, 3 there. All right, and then I think this should be okay for us now. Okay. Hold on. Oops. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. Yes, we can totally win. I know we can get in a win. I'm still itching to get that victory today. We're not going to give up. I'm just trying to do one quick tweak here. The Izzet color should be the ones that we trim down. Xander's Lounge there. Okay. Okay. I think we got this. Okay. Okay. I don't know, everybody. We're hoping, though. Let's see if we can make this one work. We want 1 win today. At least 1 win while we're playing around with this. Azula at least deserves 1 victory, even if she's also not a good person. But, still feeling it right here. I know we can get at least 1 win today. If I really have to, though, and I really don't want to do this way, maybe we might have to drop down to unranked just to get the win. Okay, so let's try this out here. Okay, so we got the Fatal Pushes, Blacklight Cliffs, Thought Seizes. Okay, so it's going to be a little slow here, but we have tons of removal. So maybe this will be what we need. Let's get a peeky peek at what our opponent's trying to do here. Okay, what they got. Okay, okay, so they are definitely going to be a very heavy creature deck here. Okay, so the Zenith is the only thing we can't really hit, so get rid of that. We don't care about the portable hole because we have nothing really realistically that's going to hit us with, so they can keep that. Okay, Sacred Foundry. Boulder Epic here. We just need to also keep that Warden of the Inner Sky in check. So that's our only other final piece we got to deal with here. Okay, so with that, wait it out for a second here. See what they play. Opponents, we got this. We could totally do this now. Warden of the Inner Sky. Okay, doesn't do a thing. Okay, that's down. So they don't get much out of it. They'll get the Scribe, but that's okay. Okay, got the Gleeful Demolition. Annoying, but not the worst for us. We can still deal with that. Gonna have to Burst Lightning away Volder Epicure here. So now we gotta try to make sure they don't go too wide. This is gonna hurt, but we need to look for the Wrath ASAP. Oh, we didn't get the Wrath, did we? Okay. Alright, well, Murderous Rider at least can give us something to work with here. And then I guess we got the Watery Grave. Okay, so the lifelink on here might be relevant. Okay, they swing. We're at 12. Okay, Portable Hole. No real value, but I'm guessing they're going to try to blow it up. They do. Okay, there going wide. Okay. So, from here... Ugh, that hurts a lot. Murder's Rider. We have a blocker for now. Okay. Swing opponent? No, they don't. Okay, that's good. Yay, we got Azula. Okay. Put this down tapped. And no attacks. Well, at least we got Azula, finally. But is this going to be enough? We need to literally blow up the whole board. That's 6 tokens. That's a lot of tokens. But let's see if we can at least get 1 win here before we are done today. Okay, I think we can do this. Can we do this here? Blow up 6 tokens. Okay. Here we go. This is asking a lot for the deck. But I know we can do it. I can't believe we have to do it this way, but hey, we got to do what we got to do. Doubling up the fatal pushes. All right, fatal push 1. Fatal push 2. Fatal push 3. Copy it again. Fatal push 4. Oh my goodness, this is actually working. Mr. President has subscribed. Thanks again for the subscription, my fire friend. Thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. You're just in the middle of us thing. We could finally go off with Azula here. And then the lightning... Actually, you know what? We'll wait. Do they block? No, they don't. Okay, so... To face. Double it up. 6 damage. Now we've turned this game around. 15. 12. All the way to 6. And we go back up to 12. Whew! Much better. Now that was much better. Finally, you get to see the deck actually do its thing. An opponent has had enough. Yay! We finally did it, everybody! Yay! That took almost 3 hours. Oh, actually, no, not 3 hours. Just 2 hours of just streaming to finally get a win with this deck after shaping it, what is it, like 2, 3 times? But hey, that is a win. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you again also for that, Dense Planet. I think we finally got something that I think works. I might have to sculpt it a little bit more in my personal time, but I appreciate you so much, my fire friend. Thanks again for helping me out with that. We finally got that. I don't know how we did it. We managed to get around, what is it, 6 tokens? I thought right there, I'm like, oh, geez, not another loss. But hey, I mean, it was a really clunky way to do it, but we got a win. That is a legit win. So I'll take it today, everybody. All right. Excuse me, everybody. Ugh. That was gross. Okay, so for those that don't know, I mean, I would love to stream longer, but I also am looking at the clock. I have to take care of a couple other things. Also, I have not eaten all day today, so I'm actually starving right now. So we're going to have to end the stream here, everybody, in a little bit, but don't worry. Before we go, as always, I do like to make sure that we still get all of y'all to then get a moment here in Edgewise. So give me a second here while I try to gather my thoughts here. So with that, that was basically there, everybody. Our Azula being absolutely insane. But you know in the comments below, everybody, what do you think? Would you play the deck in any way, shape, or form? And to be honest, and let's nip this in the bud now. So I wanted the original version to work, but it still wasn't quite where we wanted to be at, unfortunately. And that was kind of a shame too. I really wanted to combo with her, but it just wasn't quite where we wanted it to be. And that's okay though. That's okay. It will happen. Sometimes you do have moments where you don't quite, the deck you start off with doesn't quite work in your favor. So that's one of those things I'll just say now is, if you still want to see the combo one, I'll see if I can try to maybe make a bonus video, maybe for those of you who are members of the channel, and we'll try to do that. But unfortunately, the one that I wanted to build just wasn't working, and that was kind of a shame for me, but that's okay. Sometimes the decks you build don't always work out the way you think they'll do. But that's okay. We still found at least a silver lining with what we had today. So that's probably the one thing I want to say right now is at the very minimum, we have at least that going for us. So having said all that, if you do like the version that we did, and maybe you actually do want to see in the future an alternate version, let me know, everybody. And then maybe we can kind of look at something else as well. Now, having said all that, the control version is probably going to be the more practical way you want to play Azula. Mostly just because, again, with the way she works, you mostly just keep control of the board as you saw, and then once she literally can swing, once you have the coast clear, she just doubles up everything and just kind of helps to do a massive turnaround, helps you make a comeback, just blows away everything. It really is a much more hilarious, more fun option if you actually do like Grixis control. Having said all that, there's probably a ton of different ways you can still build a deck. Don't feel like the version that we built together with my fire friend here is the definitive one. We were mostly just trying to spitball ideas to hopefully try to make something work. And we actually got a win, so I'll definitely probably look at this version as the model I want to build for Azula in the future if I want to sculpt her into something more cooler. But actually, this was really nice. Yes, the Den Splendid Special. Don't worry, though. This version that did get us the win, I will leave a link for that if you want to play a non-budget version of Azula in Grixis Control. I'll leave that for you in the details below once we're done with the stream later on. Now, before we get going for today, for those of you who stuck around this far into the stream, thanks again for hanging in there, my true fire friends. You're going to get a little sneak peek as to what's to come for tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, we're going to be going all in on shrines. So that means, yes, I know, shrines are not as janky as they used to be, but they can still be budget. I mean, we have a budget version here. This is as cheap as I was trying to make it on 5 colors. So we're going to be doing Hay Bay Forest Guardian here in the Brawl format tomorrow night. You're probably around 8 o'clock in the evening. Again, I know it's not consistent, but that's realistically the only time I can stream. So we're going to try to do that tomorrow night. We already have the upgraded version ready to go. As far as anything beyond that, for next week, we'll be doing a hopefully we'll try to do a Christmas Eve stream if we can, or at least something close to Christmas just before the day comes. We're working on an elf deck, so it's always a tradition. We always try to play elves in some way. We haven't finished the deck just yet, but we have an elf deck that we are finishing up here. And then after that, what we will do beyond, I'm still not quite sure yet. I mean, I have a human taxes deck that I've been trying to kind of build around using some of the avatar cards. Also have another fun idea that Feather, maybe we can try to bring Feather back as another way we can try to play some stuff. If we want to get really evil, though, we have a new scam deck that's in mono black. I don't know if I want to play this one. I don't know. This one hasn't been working out too well, but maybe we'll consider it. We're still trying to work on a couple other decks that, I mean, I still have an Earthbending Infinite deck that I haven't had a chance to show off yet, but maybe we might try that as well. There's still some other ideas I'm trying to toss around and stuff, so don't worry. We'll still have, of course, many things we could do. As far as the rest of our YouTube videos for the remainder of the year, we have 2 more weeks before 2025 is over. So our next video is going to be a nice little wrap-up of the best matches I've had here on the live streams. So anybody that's missed a live stream in the past but couldn't quite take it to, and I get it, you don't want to dig around several hours of my live streams to kind of find the best matches. I'll throw them all together for you in a nice compilation video. So it's probably going to be about an hour plus of some of the best matches we've had here on live stream in 2025. And the final video that I'll put out at the very end is going to be us looking towards 2026 and seeing the good, the bad, and the ugly that may be coming for us next year for Magic. So by that point, though, we'll probably get a couple more other videos that I want to do. So of course, I'll highlight the best card that I believe came out in 2025, and we'll do a couple more bonus pack openings, maybe another highlight reel for short form content. But otherwise, anything else for New Year's Eve? I'm not sure yet, everybody. I'm still trying to figure out our best way to kind of handle New Year's Eve as like one of our final streams for 2025. If you have ideas, let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, before we go, as always, I want to give a shout out to everybody that has joined us today. So again, we have Galaxy Sheepy for subscribing. Thanks again for Mr. President, who also subscribed on YouTube as well. Dan Splendid, as always, my true fire friend. Thanks again for hanging in there and helping me rebuild Azula to finally get us a nice win with her. So that was great. Pop Off, I appreciate you popping in there. I know this wasn't quite, I mean, maybe this may not be a game that you might want to play, but I still appreciate you chatting with me just the same. So thank you again for that as well. Vexlar, I didn't get a chance to add you on the Discord there, but that's okay, my fire friend. I still appreciate you at least showing a little bit of love there. For those of you that popped in from other locations, shout out to all of you as well. Even if you didn't pop in to say anything on the chat, I still appreciate y'all. And again, hopefully I'm not trying to make this sound too awkward, but I still want to give personal shout outs to those of you who have joined the stream. Even if you didn't chat with me, I still appreciate every single one of you. If I did not actually name you, I do apologize, because sometimes with the chat that goes on with the multi-stream, I end up missing some stuff that maybe others may have already posted. But you get the idea, everybody. Thanks one more time for those of you that were chatting for me on the stream. And also shout out to all of you on Instagram also as well there. I see all of you as well. But again, if you want to see us put replays up from Instagram directly, we do need at least to get to 1,000 followers in order for me to replay stuff on Instagram. Otherwise, just check out the replays across any of our other socials. And I still appreciate your love by just checking me out just the same. Anyway, I have to go now, everybody, because I got to take care of big boy stuff. So I got to get ready, and also I got to actually eat something because I am starving now. But otherwise, thank you one more time to everybody. We'll go do this again tomorrow night. So until then, I want to leave you, of course, with the most important thing that I always like to leave everybody for things. Just remember that no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We'll see you again tomorrow night, everybody. Later.